So we started the research and development process for the upgrade with a very extensive list of nearly 200 features that we gathered from all sources around the world, industry, research institutes, suppliers to the industry, and started with that and then cut it back. We can't put 200 features on the note, we don't want to. Cut it back to a very short list that we took forward into design. In the design process, we have two distinct parts. There's the concept design and the banknotisation design. The concept design is where we look at the artwork, how we want it to look, more general aspects. The banknotation design is where we actually integrate all the features into that and get the note to the level where it's functional, has security and durability. So the process starts with a plastic film, which is essentially some polypropylene that we melt, stretch, blow into a big bubble, and then squash it back down to get a film. So on top of that clear film, we apply white coatings on both sides, obviously leaving out the bits where we want to have a window, and that produces for us a banknote substrate sheet we can then put into the rest of the printing processes. So on top of that, the white layers on the banknote sheet, we apply strong colours on both sides of the note. And this is done in very fine, detailed print. It gives it the bold, vivid colours, but it has built-in security in terms of the fine detail and microprint that goes within that. Yeah, so within the top to bottom window, which is new on the series for us, we integrate a number of features in there, but particularly the stuff that goes in the foil that's transferred across. A very complicated process that involves transferring that foil across with heat and pressure, somewhat akin to ironing it on, and that transfers those across to the banknote, and you have them in the top to bottom window. So the next process, we apply the rolling colour effect. Again, this is done partly across the window and across some of the coloured areas, where we apply a thick layer of coloured ink, and then we structure the way the pigments sit within that ink to get the coloured effects that you see from both sides of the note. Yeah, so the way we structure the pigments within that rolling colour effect to give the artwork is we apply a series of magnets onto the ink while it's still wet, and that magnetic fields rotate the pigments within the ink, and then we lock it in place with a UV lamp to cure that, and then we get the rolling colour effect in the design that we're after. Yes, the intaglio print comes after that, a very traditional process used for many, many years all around the world in banknotes. Applied on both sides of the note, gives the note texture, gives the note body, something that really helps with the way people authenticate the note. They will often feel the difference between a note with or without intaglio. On the new $5 note, space was really a constraint. We were after a lot of security, and one of the things that had to go was the second serial number. So we've still got one, consistent with the same sort of numbering formats we've used in the past, so you can still see the year of print that comes out of that. And we've also matched that against an invisible year of print, which you can see when you hold the note under a UV lamp. One of the last printing processes is to apply an overcoat over the whole note. This adds both durability and it helps with the slip characteristics of the note, so how it feels when you're counting it, the way the notes can slide against each other. One of the final processes then is the tactile feature, the tactile dot, where we're not printing anything in this case, we're just actually hitting the film with an embossing stamp that actually deforms it and kind of pushes it out, and you get the tactile dot that you then can feel on the note for the vision impaired. So in finishing, we take everything up to this stage is banknote sheets, then we have to cut it into the individual banknotes and making sure that's done consistently to get the right height, the right length, the image in the right position. And then it's put through a high-speed machine inspection system that does quality checking on all the banknotes. Once the notes have been through processing, they get bundled into bundles of 100 and bigger bundles of 1,000, and they all get packed into containers with a sort of automated robotic system. Then those containers have some 100,000 notes that get sent out to banks. To replace all the notes in circulation, we've needed to print around 170 million of the $5 note. Normally we would not print that many on each year, but it's the volume that we need to replace everything. Coming through the end of the process, we've got to the stage now where we've incorporated a large number of new security features, some of the most advanced in the world, onto this new design. And where once we led the world in polymer banknotes, our view is certainly this new design with the embedded features and the way we've designed it together certainly puts us back at the forefront of polymer note technology in the world.